Have you remembered this one 90s sitcom or adult old cartoon called Beavis and Butthead? It's pretty much about Beavis and Butthead going on adventures and they pretty much just do be doing some destructive stuff. However, I was bored one day and decided to watch some of the old VHS tapes of Beavis and Butthead. I rummaged through my collection and stumbled upon a tape that I have never seen before. It was titled Lost Episode Coach Buzzcut. I was excited to see something new, as I couldn't remember if my parents exactly picked this up or it was just some sheer coincidence. I didn't even really know. I quickly popped the tape into the VCR and eagerly waited for the familiar theme song to start playing. To my surprise, the intro was completely different. Instead of the usual animation of them watching TV, it showed them entering an army base with the look of fear on their faces, which is honestly out of character for Beavis and Butthead. Confused but unfazed, I continued to watch the episode as it started. It started with Beavis and Butthead being dragged by their military service coach, Coach Buzzcut, who was the teacher at Highland High School, to their training grounds. They complained and whined and wanted nothing to do that got into physical activity. But as soon as they arrived at the training grounds, Coach Buzzcut transformed into a drill sergeant. His eyes were bloodshot and his skin was pale. He had a sinister grin on his face. Beavis and Butthead were just frozen in shock, unable to move as their coach started yelling at them. "You maggots better start moving or I'll make you wish you were never born!" Coach Buzzcut barked. His voice was echoing, and the sound of the desert training sound. Beavis and Butthead had never seen their coach like this before, or their teacher for that matter. He was usually strict, but he was never this scary. Well, of course, he has been scary, but not that bad in the other shows. They usually begin trembling in fear. It all started with them doing some intense exercises while they were laughing manically. As the episode continued, Beavis and Butthead were subjected to harsh and dangerous training methods, running through an obstacle course filled with explosives, carrying huge logs for miles, even getting sprayed by freezing water in the middle of the blizzard. The boys begged for mercy, but Coach Buzzcut only pushed them harder, ignoring that they're suffering. They soon realized that this was just not a regular episode. I just noticed that. But it was like a nightmare that they couldn't escape from. Finally, the episode ended with Coach Buzzcut ordering Beavis and Butthead to dig their own graves as punishment for not being able to complete their training. The screen went to black, and the only thing that could be heard was Coach Buzzcut's menacing laugh. I quickly turned off the VCR as my heart was racing with fear. I just couldn't believe of what I just witnessed. It was like one of my worst nightmares had came to life, and even though through the lost episode. I never spoken about this tape again and decided to never watch it again. I couldn't remember exactly what I did with it, but I put it somewhere in a box and I wanted to watch it again, maybe just to see if this was a dream or not. However, to my surprise, I couldn't find it anywhere. I looked in that box of Beavis and Butthead VHS tapes where I usually kept them, but I couldn't find them there either, which was very shocking because I knew where they always were. But however, it's any unknown tapes I'm going to be careful of now. I have learned that a lesson is to stick watching to the regular episodes of Beavis and Butthead from then on. But I always wondered what happened to that coach in that lost episode, if this was just a bad dream or a glimpse into a dark reality. I have no idea, as I still cannot find this tape anywhere. If anybody happens to see a VHS tape titled Lost Episode Coach Buzzcut, I suggest you stay away from it. You don't even know what's behind that tape.